Hi, today in this presentation, I want to be speaking on gender inequity in the workplace. According to Adler, the inequity is going to be between men and women, how there's significant differences for women in the workplace. I'm going to be speaking on a few topics, three, a matter of fact. It's about uh, needs that women have in the workplace and obstacles they have to overcome, like not having childcare, and unfair wages, and what they deal with sexual harassment in the workplace. So, in overcoming inequity, there's significant pay gaps that essentially take power from women because money is power. Um, Also, there isn't enough compensation for women to strive for superiority, to be in leadership roles, to make things fair, since they're gonna would be represented. Uh, with sexual harassment, sometimes the stereotypes that women have to deal with, like if she didn't want him to, uh, you know, do something fresh with her, why did she dress like that? The stereotypes that women that dress attractive are wanting and engaging in sex in the workplace. And this is what the danger of Freudism is, because Freudism, we have to reject it, Freudism, if we want equality in the workplace, gender equality, because according to Freudism, people's whole purpose in life is to strive for sexual pleasure. And what type of message does that send in the workplace? That's the leadership is predominantly men. In many roles of leadership, women are just underrepresented. So it goes back to algorithm, how they have to envision themselves to be in a position so they could strive for that superiority. And inferiority, also how women are portrayed in the media and in the workplace, is uh, weaker and less capable to do things than a man, for example. Because of gap, that gap between women and men, whether it's uh, less women in leadership roles than men, or even uh, women getting less pay, there's a segregation wall between them. There's a barrier between women and men uh, that creates the inequality in the workplace. I'll give a perfect example. 2 or 3 years ago, I was working in Georgia in a factory out in Georgia, the state, and the the break room was segregated. Now, in the company, the majority of the leadership were men, and the men believed that the break room had to be separated or segregated by gender because a man would sit next to his wife and steal his wife from him, as if the woman has no self-control. This is just one example of things that are happening in 2023 that is separating women from men, literally. My theory of gender iniquity, that the current leadership in the United States, well, workplace leadership in the United States, um, is men, and they have no social interest in their superior positions, so they just leave it like that. Or they might be even felt threatened from women, that if women take control, then they're not going to have control no more. And also, women are portrayed certain ways in media and on TV, like women's basketball. They get paid significantly different from NBA players. I think LeBron James, for example. He gets paid, I think 500,000 a game or something like that, while um a WNBA player makes only a fraction of that, maybe a couple of thousand. I forgot the exact number. And companies don't see the value in supporting women's needs. Women need things like healthcare. I mean, not healthcare, childcare, if they have children, especially if they're single mothers, childcare, where they're gonna put their kid, uh, after school. Are they gonna have to pick their kid up after school, stuff like that? They should have stuff like that at the workplace, like daycare for the companies at the workplace. Also, like I said, striving for superiority, men feel threatened from women that they're going to take over and they're underrepresented. Um, I'll give another stereotype that I've heard. A woman president. Some people say that a woman can't be president because she'll start a nuclear war while she's on her period. It's just ridiculous. But this is some of the things that people have spoken about when it comes to gender equality and positions of leadership. So going back to what I said, it could cause a complex that women see things a certain way and they think they can't achieve uh, certain positions to help other women. Women in sports, I spoke in that. Even women in pornography. The majority of the models in pornography are women, and the focus is on the woman as the object, not the woman as a human being, but the woman as the object. And it makes it inhumane. I mean, less human than how we're supposed to see it. In religion, for example, Christianity, my religion, I was taught in church, I'm about 40 now, but I was taught in church that women weren't allowed to have leadership roles. Uh, that's actually a rule in some places that women can't be in leadership because the Holy Bible says so. And same thing, like I said, with the stereotype with nukes and stuff like that. It's just ridiculous, but it's the truth. Um, you know, when in any case when there's uh inequalities, uh, and the field is being leveled, I say like the playing field. That's the only way I could describe it. There's always going to be some people that don't like it. Um, in the future, if there's some type of action, kind of like a affirmative action for women, men will complain. They're going to say that they weren't hired because of discrimination, for example. Uh, Also, there'll be jobs that are predominantly what men do that they're gonna have women doing, for example, and that might cause problems. Like I said, for example, the the job that I work down south, having men and women work together. Let's say there's one woman and you know 100 men working a specific job. The husband might be upset and might cause problems. It's an ethical question. So in summary, I covered um, the main topics, which was childcare and unfair wages and sexual harassment. Now I'm going to speak briefly about it. So in summary, with childcare, some companies they just don't provide or even sympathize with women when it comes to the childcare or accommodating them to take care of their children while working at the company. I've been a witness to that. Again, I'm going to just recap. Um, uh, Unfair wages have to do with women in leadership also. Um, that the decisions aren't being made to treat women more fairly. And same thing with sexual harassment. It's just unfair the way some women are treated. Um, there's women out there today that been sexually harassed in the past, and they have to make a decision about whether they should wear this to work or wear that to work because that the behavior of her male coworkers. So to reflect with algorithm, different things could affect women's strive for superiority, like being babied when she was a child, um the, the pampering, it could cause problems when she gets older. Striving for superiority, the inferiority complex, and problems with superiority, um the way it's viewed, and how the 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 current leadership, how they might look at women's needs. Personally, me, because this is a reflection. I haven't worked in a steady job in over a decade. It's been a while for me, and but what I'm learning in this class is going to help me contribute what I know to the workforce in the future when I get over my disability.